guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my second tutorial on how to make something creative with yarn. Today I'll be showing you how to make these adorable Dreamcatcher inspired crochet earrings. I call them the Daydreamers, with some cotton thread. So today I'm going to show you how to do this in the beautiful cream color and using some glass turquoise beads. So let's get creative. Hi guys, welcome to my crochet tutorial on how to make these gorgeous Dreamcatcher crochet earrings, which also feature some macrame to form these tassels. So what do you need for this project? Well, you need some cotton thread, you need a 1.25mm crochet hook. Obviously you'll need some hoop earrings. I got this on Etsy from Itsy Bitsy. You can get different styles and different sizes. I chose the 35mm in diameter. If you decide to do some bead work, you might also need a needle that will be perfect for threading through the beads. You will need some chain links and some silver hooks to finish off your earring. Okay, so let's get started. The first part, I'm going to form this middle part of the earring, which is all crochet. If you like, you can incorporate some beads. You don't have to. So if you are going to incorporate some beads, I would recommend using these needles, which have this really large eyelet, so you can put your thread through it, but then it collapses on itself and makes bead threading so much more easier. You can thread as many beads as you like, because you can always just keep the beads on the thread and use it for the next earring. So I will quickly just put a few more. It's really easy. So the first thing we're going to do is a magic circle. So if you don't know how to do a magic circle, there are many really awesome tutorials on how to do this. I will try to go slowly, so let's try that again. You twirl the yarn in between these two fingers to form an X. You will put your hook under the first thread, you will drag the second thread under, and you have formed a circle. Now this might be tricky, but once you do it a few times, it'll be easy. Then we're going to do 6 single crochet into the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, it's quite tricky crocheting with such fine thread and hook size, but take your time. I have then pulled through. I have pulled this thread here to close the ring, and now I'm going to start single crocheting into the first chain we formed. So I'm going to do single crochet that will close the loop. Then in the same stitch, I'm going to do half double crochet. Then I'm going to do 1 double crochet again in the same stitch. Now this is the fun bit. We're going to do a picot edging, a picot stitch at the top of this double crochet, which is basically just chaining 2, and I'm also going to incorporate a bead in this stitch. So go back to your thread, grab yourself a bead, pull it right through to the start. I think finicky working with such thread, but create such beautiful stuff. So have patience. So you've got your bead right at the top. So you're just going to go over the bead, and we're going to single crochet into the first chain we created. And now your little bead is stuck in between your picot stitch. And now we're going to do half double crochet into the same stitch. A single crochet to finish off. So that was all done in 1 stitch. You will do the same in the next stitch. So you'll do single crochet. Make sure that I've got to the next stitch. We'll continue along. Single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, chain 2 to form the picot, hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Grab a bead and a single crochet around that bead into the first chain you created. Got some beautiful sun coming through. It's great Melbourne weather. It could be cold, but the sun still shines in winter. Now half double crochet still into the same, and then single crochet to finish that petal. Now I'm going to do 2 more petals and I'll meet you back at the start. And there we have it, a really cute little flower. Now what we're going to do is going to work up a couple more rows to create like a web effect, so that when you stretch it through your hoop, it will look really like a spider's web. So what we're going to do first is we're going to slip stitch the next 2 stitches right to just before the picot stitch. Slip stitch all the way till you get just before your bead, and I think I'm there. So then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to go and put a slip stitch on the stitch just before the picot, which will be your half double crochet, and into a single crochet, sorry. Then we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do another chain 5, and we're going to again single crochet on the half double crochet before my picot stitch. Oh, the sun is creating shadows. Hope you can see still. All right, so chain 5, 3, 4, 5, and again single crochet in the stitch before the half double crochet. I don't know if I got the right stitch right here. Yep. And then single crochet, chain 5 again, 4, 5, and then again this will bring again to the half double crochet before the double crochet, and the last chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which brings us back to the start of the round, and we will slip stitch again just before the double crochet. What I do now is I'm going to do chain 5. This is our last round for the crochet part, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the chain 5 space, I'm going to do a double crochet, and I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to bring a bead, put it in between here, and I'm going to do a double crochet. So I've created like a V stitch in between the chain 5 space with a bead in the middle. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Then we're going to do the V stitch again in the next chain 5 space. So double crochet, chain 2, we'll bring our bead, then we're going to do a double crochet and chain 5. Again, a V stitch in the next chain 5 space, so a double crochet, chain 2, bring a bead through, and double crochet, chain 5, and then a double crochet to finish off. Now we're going to chain 3, and I will join it halfway through my 5 chain space from the previous round. just like that. Okay guys, so this is our finished little doily for our crochet earring. So it looks a little bit squashed, but once we put it, I will crochet around it into the hoop, it will stretch out. So now grab your hoop. You can begin anywhere. I will start towards the bottom middle of the earring. So what I'll do is I'm going to single crochet around the hoop, just like that. Then I'm going to single crochet along the hoop only 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now grab my crochet and I'm going to attach to single crochet around this space right here. Sorry, in between the chain 2 space between the V stitches. Single crochet, then 5 single crochets around the hoop only. Then I'm gonna single crochet around this chain space before the V stitch. Then another 5 single crochet along the hoop, which creates a lovely effect. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Then again in the 5 chain space, single crochet around the hoop and my work, and again 5. All right guys, so that's what we're going to do all the way along. Okay guys, welcome to the macrame part of this tutorial. So this is what we are up to. This is a finished product right here. You could just finish with the crochet part of the earring. It still looks quite cute. But now I'll show you how to add some macrame to it. It's very simple stitches. It's really just a square box stitch, and I'll walk you through that. Done in 2 different ways. So let's have a look. This is what we're up to now. What you will need for this step is a clipboard, or just grab the notebook with a clip. We don't really need a hook. We just to put the strings on the edge of a hoop, I still use a hook, but after that we don't need it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll secure the macrame hoop to the earring hoop to our notepad. So now it's nice and taut and we can go ahead and create some knots. So I've cut 8 40 centimeters in length strings and I've attached it evenly along the edge of the hoop, leaving 1 chain in between each of the strings. How do I attach it? Now hopefully you can see this. It is again quite delicate work. So this is my 40 centimeter string that I will attach to, so leaving a chain space, I will attach it here. And how do you do that? Well, we'll do it this way. So I'll put my hook there so I can then pull my, so we, the thread is divided in half and we're going to pull it through here. Look if I can get it right. There we are. So now we just simply loop through our thread just like this, and there you are. We've attached all 8 threads to our hoop. So now what we're going to do is divide our work into four strings, and that will be 4 groups. So if you count, every thread you put through will have 2 strings. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with 4 at a time. So let's divide our work. So that's for here, for there, and for here. Just like so. So every group will have 4 strings. And so we're going to start with our spiral square box knot. How do you do this? Well, let's set this aside so we don't get confused. We'll start working with this side. We will have 2 threads will be our middle threads, and they don't move. So what I like to do is I like to anchor this down to make knotting easier. I grab a piece of sticky tape and I just secured it down like so. And now I'm just going to start doing our square knots. Now, to create a spiral effect, what we do is we're going to knot only in one side. Let's go through this. So with the left hand thread, we're going to form the figure 4. So you can see the 4. And with the right hand thread, what we're going to do is go under everything and through this loop here, like so, and we will knot right to the top. And there you are. And to create a spiral effect, you keep doing the same thing over and over. And I will do it 10 times to create some length. Now see how when we secure the string to the notepad, it doesn't move, and that really helps us create these knots. Now again, it's a little bit funner work because you're working with thread. Now if you stuff it up, don't worry, you start again. Now because you're knotting only in one side, it does tend to twist, so just be aware of that. I'm going to create 10 knots. This will be my third. As I'm going along, it is trying to twist, and that will give you a really nice helical look about it. Okay guys, so I have finished doing the spiral square knots on either end of my hoop, and I put them aside. I've anchored them down so they don't get in the way. So now let's do some square knots for the last 2 groups of strings. So I'm going to add some beads. You don't have to, you can if you want to. I'm going to add 5, and I've already lost 1 bead. Let's see if I can quickly put it back on at the end of my needle. All right, and I'm just going to thread them through one of the middle strings. So as I said before, the 2 middle strings of our group will stay put. So I usually put a stick tape down to make it simpler to create the knots. Now with the classic square knots, how do we do that? Well, let's start with the left hand side. We'll form figure 4. Now with your right, you go under all of the threads and you go under and through that number 4 you created, and you pull through and make a tight knot. Now with the classic square knots, we're actually going to alternate the way we create those knots. Now we're going to form the number 4 with the right hand thread. We come with the left. We go under all our work, lift up our threads and go through this number 4 that you created, and again tightened. So this will create some lovely knots that are completely straight. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to alternate between the left and the right and continue along. And I'm going to do 2 knots just as they are. I'm finishing this one. So that's a complete knot. When you do left and right side, and now we're going to do 1 more knot, the beginning of a new knot. So form the figure 4, thread through that loop, tighten. Now let's incorporate the bead before we finish the square knot, and we finish it by creating the number 4 on the opposite side, which is my right. Then with the left hand thread, we go under and through that number 4 space you created and tighten. Now we'll do 1 more time. We'll do number 4 on the left hand side. With the right hand, you go under all and go through that space and knot. let's add a loop, let's add a bead right here and finish that square knot by forming the number 4 with the right hand and putting the left under all the threads and pulling through this gap. And I'm going to do the same thing for the next set, this last group of 4 strings. We're finished doing our macrame knots, and now what we're going to do is just going to do one final knot per group just to secure it down. Twisting a bit. And the last group. Okay, and we're done, guys. So we can leave them like this, or I've just to secure it down, I've actually tied them together in a knot. There we are. What to do now is just put some chain links. I'm using these tweezers. You can also use jewelry pliers. And I've got some chain links I picked up from my bead supplier. And let's just put at the top of our hook, a chain link right here. You can just see where it's meant to go. And I'm gonna put it right through here, if you can see it. Yeah, and I'm going to tighten that up, and now I'll bring my hooks. These are sterling silver. I'm not allergic, but I guess it's always nice to have some sterling silver hooks. And then I'm going to put that through here. And just completely close it so you don't lose your earring. And we're done, guys. There you are. Look at your dream catcher earrings. I do love the contrast of the cream and the turquoise. I hope you enjoyed making these lovely dream catcher earrings, the Daydreamer crochet earrings. And we'll see you next time. Bye.